Welcome back to the Wizard Shop. This car, sadly, is getting the chopping block today. I'm about to head out and go trade it off for something. And you guys are going to see what that is. It's a surprise. Right after this. Welcome back to the Wizard Shop. Over the weekend, you guys witnessed me get into the 1993 Cadillac STS that I had gotten from Hoovie, and I drove it off into the sunset. I got rid of it. I traded it off for another vehicle this Monday morning here in the shop, and we're getting ready to reveal the vehicle. Now, I did have an Avalanche for a while, and we sold that to a friend. He was in dire need of a truck. We didn't think we would need a truck anymore. We found out pretty quick living out in the country, we've got to have a truck. Oh! There it is. Yes. Very nice. Here it is, guys. Well, here it is. Mrs. Wizard just about ran me over with it. Now that I got repositioned here and I can finish up my story. Like I said, we had an Avalanche for a while. You guys have seen that in previous videos, and I had a friend that was in dire need of a vehicle for his business. And I figured I never even drive the Avalanche. It just sits all the time, so why not just sell it to him and give him a good deal and help him out? And I did, and he's using it to this day. He has an extermination business, and we live out in the country, and as time has gone on, we realize that was kind of dumb. We need a truck. We have to have a truck. If you live out in the country, you have to have a truck. People don't deliver furniture 40 miles away where you live out in the country. So anyways, you guys saw me drive the Cadillac away, and I traded it straight across for this 1998 Dodge Ram half-ton pickup truck. Ever since I bought that Cadillac from Hoovie, I thought it'd be really cool. It's like brand new, it'd be fun to drive. And all it's done is sit in my garage at home for what, a couple months now. I didn't even think it would start when I went to initially take it out and drive it off for you guys in the beginning of this video. Amazingly it did, but it's been sitting that long, and I realized I'm not using this thing. Somebody else could get some enjoyment out of it. I do need this, however. I haven't even looked underneath of it. I just got it here. Let's take a look under the hood, talk about the truck. Let's get it on the lift and see what I got.
Hey, Car Wizard, doesn't this have the Magnum 5.2 V8?
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. I've worked on these trucks over the years, and in my opinion, a GM product, a Chevy truck, is the easiest to work on, the best truck you can buy, especially pre-2007 or 8. But in these years with the Dodge Rams, as you've seen on my previous video about pickup trucks, would be 93 or 4 all the way to 2003, they're actually very good trucks. My mentor actually had one of these. They had some engine issues, and he fixed them, and it's been running and running and running. He wonders how long it will live, and it just keeps living. It's got over 300,000 miles. He's like, any day now this thing's going to quit, and it just doesn't. So I knew there'd be a wise purchase to get this thing. Some teenage guys owned this before me. As you can see, it's got speakers and boombox garbage on it. That'll be going in the trash. But the engine and the transmission, everything shifts good, it drives good. But I noticed on the way home, something they didn't reveal to me, and I didn't catch it, is that there's a small coolant leak on the timing cover, which is common on these. It's very common. It's a very easy fix. Let's take a look at that. Right in through here, you can see there's a gasket that's kind of pooched out where the timing cover mounts to the block. When the engine's running, it just has a little spray that comes out of there. And I have replaced many of these. It's a very common issue. Very easy to fix, actually. Very cheap to fix. But these engines don't really have a whole lot of inherent problems. They're very easy to work on. They're cast iron heads, cast iron block. They're very heavy-duty engine. We'll take a look at the other side here. Everything's easy to get to. The valve covers aren't leaking. I don't think that's a huge problem on these. It's in very good shape as far as the value or what I paid for it. The guy was asking a little bit more than what I paid for the Cadillac, so I'm happy. I feel like I got the upper hand of the deal as soon as I fixed a few little issues, but it just ran and drove perfect all the way home. Stops, drives straight, steers straight. It does need some tires. Let's take a look around the vehicle before we put it on the lift. Now this does have the Magnum 5.2 like Miss Wizard pointed out. It has about 230 horsepower and about 300 pounds of torque. We don't really need a powerhouse to pull a building down. We just need something to tow a little camper trailer or tow some lightweight stuff here or there. I'm not interested in a $35,000 truck that's going to sit 90% of the time. This is the ticket right here. This is perfect. It'll just run and run and run. Let's take a look around it. It does have some faded paint on the hood and on the roof, which is common for these trucks of these years. But as we go around, you're going to see there's no fist-sized dents in it like you normally see on old trucks. There's no cancer rust all around the wheel wells. And here you can see a nice clean bed liner with the spare tire sitting in there. And there's a funny story. You guys see the muffler there. So the funny story that goes along with the muffler you just seen in the bed of the truck here is, like I said, some teenage kids owned this. I think before them it was an elderly couple. They took good care of it, but they tried to hop it up, put a Flowmaster on it, make it sound good, and they told me that they did that, and I figured, yeah, whatever, you know, no big deal. But I didn't know they did such a sloppy job. On my way home, I haven't even made it out of town, and I drive by a cop of all people to drive by, and this muffler just cling, 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 cling out the back, bouncing down the road, and I'm just like, oh man. So I did a U-turn, pulled around and picked it up and thrown it in the bed of the truck, and the cop gave me a thumbs up, kind of like, thank you for not leaving that in the middle of the road. These kind of things on trucks like this, most people would start freaking out, like, oh my God, I got ripped off. I know the bones of this truck, and I know from driving it, it's in very good shape. Any truck of this age is going to need a little work. I can put a muffler, I can fix the timing cover leak, I might have a few hundred into this thing, and Miss Wizard can tow her camper, and we can tow all kinds of stuff with this. This stuff doesn't scare me. It's like, whatever. There is a little bit of a dent here, but it's not that bad. Amazingly, the undercarriage is not so rusted out like I usually see on these. Here's some more of the faded paint on the door, but again, we'll drive it 5 times a year, so not really concerned about that. But those 5 times a year, it'll be times when we absolutely have to have a truck. So that's why we got it. Let's get it on the lift. I haven't seen the underneath, guys. Let's check it out. Okay guys, let's take a look under this thing. The first thing that I see, other than it needs a set of tires really bad, is that also being owned by some teenage boys as they've been out mud bogging in the thing. You can see it's caked in mud. We'll have to get it pressure washed and cleaned up. But I guess we can go ahead and check it over. I don't see anything leaking from the radiator down here. The belt's all cracked up. It needs a new belt. You can see the ribs on the back side, like on the pulleys and things, it's got cracks all in them. And we can see that it's wet all through here. That's from that timing cover leak that I talked about. Here's an antifreeze leak. I'll have Junior Mint start on that as soon as we're done filming, actually. I'll say, hey, you got to take the timing cover off. Have fun. This is right down his alley. Let's see. There's a little tiny bit of play, but it's not too bad. It just needs to be greased up, probably. Brakes look good. Probably needs the wheel bearings greased and packed. It looks like it's been leaking from the timing cover gasket for a while. You can see the block is stained green, like a light green tan color. It's been happening this way for quite some time. I've fixed a numerous number of these. A lot of dirt, mud caked up on this thing. And you can see a little bit leaking on the shift selector here. That's the shifter shaft seal. That's not that big of a deal, but the rest of it's in good shape. It's not spraying, it's not all wet under here. It did shift good on the way home. It shifted perfect, went into overdrive. I checked it like on a hill in overdrive to put a load on the engine. No shuddering, no weird stuff going on, so I'm happy with that. U-joints seem good. Here's our teenage boy cob job there on the exhaust. The thing just flew off on me, guys. It just bing, bing, bing. Here's where it used to be. The exhaust used to go down that way. I'll put that back on, but I'll weld it on. I'm not going to clamp it and have it hanging out in the air. Take a look at the rear axle here. No pinion seal leak. I'm glad about that. And then there's drum brakes. Amazingly, the frame has still got like a lot of the black paint from the factory, even after being mud bogged like it is or has. Well, I don't really see a whole lot else other than the exhaust. We've seen a shifter shaft seal leak and the timing cover leak and tires. I don't think I did too bad. Let's lower it down and take a look at the interior. So, I don't think I did too bad. If you had to pay a shop to fix that timing cover leak, you're probably looking at $500 or $600 or something, parts and labor. I'll get it fixed for probably $20 and some junior mint labor. Not too bad at all. I think this will do great for us. I think it'll do the job. It'll haul and tow the light loads that we tow with it and make Mrs. Wizard happy. She can tow her little camper down the road with it. Let's take a look at the interior. As you can see, it's got some more of that heavy-duty battery cables where they had an amp and some boom boxes. And he says they took the big speakers out, but they left the 6x9s. I'll be taking that stuff out and give it to Junior Mint or something. The seat has a small tear. Something that's very common on all of these old Dodge Rams is the dash is just busted up. This one's no exception, but it did come with a nice dash mat. And I'm fine with that for what we'll be using it for. It'll be perfect. You can see that they hacked the dash for the car stereo and put one of these touchscreen deals that the screen pops out. I'll very likely take that out and put the stock radio back in it. The headliner is down on it. You can see just the foam is there. I don't know if I will mess with that or not.
I say leave it alone, Car Wizard.
Leave it alone?
Yeah.
Okay, but otherwise it's in pretty good shape. 129,000 miles on it is what it has. Not a whole lot of miles. So thanks for following along, guys, and checking this new, it's not really a purchase, it's a trade. We had to say so long to the Cadillac, but I don't really feel bad about that because I wasn't doing the car any service. It was just sitting and sitting and sitting. I wouldn't have driven it but maybe 2 or 3 times a year to a car show or something. But with whatever risk there would be involved for this is nothing compared to the risk of driving a North Star around. It could blow head gasket at any minute. Mrs. Wizard's Alante could do that at any minute. But I'm fine with that because that'll make excellent content for you guys. I know you guys would love to see one of those have North Star Performance head studs installed on it. If that ever happens, great. And if it doesn't, great. I'm happy either way. But I really didn't want to do that to the STS. I think that they can enjoy it and show off to their friends, their teenage guys. They're probably like, hell yeah, man, check this thing out.
Car Wizard, maybe they shouldn't go mudding in it.
No, they shouldn't go mud daubing in that thing. That would be a huge disservice to that car. But we'll get these things fixed up. I'll get Junior Mint started on this right away, and Mrs. Wizard has her own truck now. Check my Amazon affiliates below. We also just started in the UK. We have an Amazon affiliate page there with a lot of the things transferred over as much as we could to help you guys out. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. We've got the Rolls-Royce swap going on the 62 Chevy C30. We got many more other cool projects going on. And if you haven't already, head over to Auto Trader Oversteer. I've been writing articles for them. There's several there already to check out. There's a whole different set of content going on over there, guys. Check that out if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.